do you guys like structures?
We've got this card. It's a new card, and the effect is
I
That's a scoop.
That's a scoop. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gods Unchained, the podcast where we talk about all things Gods Unchained, blockchain, NFT, etc., etc. Joining me, as always, is my fellow host, CautionFun. Caution, what's going on?
Not too much, man. Particularly excited for this episode.
Why?
Our special guests.
Ooh, we do indeed have some very, very special guests. Two of them, to be precise. Joining us first, we've got the one and only legendary community leader, manager, content director. I don't know exactly what the official title is. Just content and community is what it says on Gods Unchained. So I'll let Meals tell us a little bit about herself. But first of all, hi and welcome.
G'day, it's so good to be here.
It's so good to have you.
For the context of all the listeners, Copper told me about this before recording the first episode, and I was like, hey, you should get me on sometime. So it's good that we've finally been able to line it up.
I know, I'm so sorry it took so long, and now I thought maybe that was one of the reasons you were deciding to leave, was we just never got you on the podcast. You felt a little bit hurt by it. It was not intentional.
A big pleasure.
You can sell us.
No, I'm delighted. So yeah, Copper gave a good little spiel there. I was the community manager on Gods Unchained for quite a long time. Technically, my title changed to content manager throughout 2021, but I've still been doing community management as a part of that. I joined in around mid-2019, and I am sadly departing next week, but you'll still see me around from time to time.
Love to hear that. That's very awesome. So let's also introduce DanTheDev, who is also joining us today. He is one of the developers on Gods Unchained, has been around for a long time. I don't know exactly for how long, but I would love for him to tell us. We're going to get to find out all about that as well. So welcome, DanTheDev.
Hey, nice to be on the podcast.
Yes, thanks for being here. We would love to know a little bit about your origin story as well. Like, when did you join Immutable?
So I graduated a games degree, way back in 2016, I'm going to hazard a guess. Scored a position working in simulations, so originally in Navy, then moved on to a bunch of other defense services, which I can't totally talk about, but working a lot with AR and VR and a lot of the time in Unity. Started seeing a bunch of posts on a few game forums that I'm in about this cool new company called Field Games, now Immutable, and they're making this card game. It's on the blockchain. I'm like, this is so cool. Like, seriously, this is totally what I want to do. I used to play a lot of competitive card games and competitive Pokemon as a kid, so for me this is the dream job. Yeah. So I applied, waited a couple months, heard back, and scored the job. And legit, this has been the dream job for me ever since.
That is amazing.
I'm here for the long haul, and this is waking up every day in complete happiness. So yeah, it's awesome.
That is amazing.
That makes me so happy to hear. I'm a little envious too.
Yeah.
I'm also particularly interested in Meals' origin story there. I mean, we all know Meals is a bit of a superhero there. I'm curious how that came about. Were you bitten by a particularly helpful spider, or what landed you here in Immutable in your current role, and what makes you so good at it?
Well, I'm super arachnophobic, so I hope I wasn't bitten by a superpowered spider in my childhood. No, so actually, before I joined Immutable, I was in the film industry for a bit, the Australian indie film industry.
Wow.
I was doing art department work, like set dressing, art department assistant. I was having a lot of fun with that, but I wanted to look for something that was a bit more stable, where I could apply some of the creative skills that I got from that. And I saw the listing for Fuel Games at the time, and I thought, I didn't understand a lot about blockchain, but I understood enough to go wow, this is a really cool application of the tech. It makes a lot of sense. The mission is really cool. I ended up joining the team pretty early on, all things considered. There was around 25 people maybe at the time. Like, I even edited Chris Clay's reveal video. So that's kind of an indicator of I've been around a while.
Wow.
So yeah, that's a little bit about my background.
So you said there was 25 people at that point. How many people are there now?
Oh, it's really hard to say because the team has grown so quickly that it's actually really hard to keep a track of.
Hmm.
I do this like coffee o'clock thing twice a week, and it's usually a good way to like meet all the new people. But there's like a new hire every week or two new hires every week, and
Wow.
it's like finally got to the point where like I don't know everyone's names, even though I'm like actively trying. I think that's a good thing, but at the same time, it's like it's so different to even a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
That's awesome. Well, what does your average workday look like? Like, what are you
Yeah.
doing throughout the day? And I mean, I know that we are, looking for, in theory, I mean, no one will ever be able to replace you, but we're looking for someone to try and fill those shoes. So what would they be looking to do if they were to take your job?
Yeah, look, the process that I've built is quite specific to me. Like over time, I learned what works and what doesn't. I really have to be quite structured with my day, otherwise I couldn't possibly do all the things I need to do. I'm usually quite busy. So I set aside specific times for things. So usually the first 15 minutes of the day, I'm doing a first sweep of Discord and Reddit, just checking for any like major fires overnight or anything I need to escalate. And then I'll jump across for 15 minutes after that to do Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, same kind of thing. Then a bit of time to check in internally, and then I go to my first like team stand-up. So I do one with the entire Gods Unchained marketing team. And then I can optionally go to the second stand-up as well, which is with the Gods Unchained integration team, doing the Immutable X stuff just to stay across what they're doing. And then typically, like, I'll kind of break up my day in a couple of different ways. Depends what I need to work on. But there's like dedicated focus time for particular tasks or strategy meetings, often about content strategy. There's a couple of other points throughout the day where I do make sure that I have dedicated Discord time. But otherwise everything's pretty ad hoc. So, I'll just kind of jump into Discord, or if someone's streaming, I'll try and jump in when I have a few spare minutes. I also like to play a couple of games of Gods Unchained throughout the day when I get the time, proving that I'm not too busy, just to keep my skills up there. Yeah, on a personal note, like I used to go to Muay Thai, if you know what that is,
I don't. What
every
is that?
morning. It's a martial art.
Oh, wow.
It's like Thai kickboxing. So I used to go to that every morning as well before work. I've been a bit out of balance lately, so I haven't been going, but
Is
it's
it
a really good way to start the work day by like, sparring with some people.
Oh, wow. So it's like a competitive type of like martial art. It's not like more like a yoga type. I don't know if yoga's the right word, but like some type of like more relaxing type martial art. Hit you in the face, kind of.
Yeah.
Love it. Who would have thought?
So yeah, that's a good way to get the stress out before you start your day. Community management.
Wow. I mean, rumor has it that you're one of, if not the best Gods Unchained player. One of the best, we'll say. We'll say one of the best Gods Unchained players on the team. I've seen those skills. I've faced against Meals.
That's a kind rumor, although not necessarily reflective of the internal playdays.
So there's internal playdays where like just everybody on the team like plays against each other?
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, we've actually been doing like probably a play day a day, and we have this thing called Better Game a Day, where in the morning we jump in, play against the players, get stomped on by streamers, except for Caution, who I beat yesterday.
Ooh. Shots fired.
Yeah, but we're playing the game a lot.
That's awesome. So Dan, what's your average workday look like?
Similar for me in terms of time. I've got to be really cautious about like making sure I'm on track. So generally between 9 and 10, I'm doing code reviews for other developers. Then it's maybe like an hour or two of meetings. We do this thing in the morning called bug triage, where we look at all the bugs that are happening and we sort of work out like what do we need to look at and when do we need to look at it. That's really important for us to kind of get a sense of where the game is at. Then we do a bunch of stand-ups. So at the moment, I'm in the gameplay stand-up, just helping them out for a couple of weeks. But usually, I'd be in the live ops where I do things like we make Reconnect better, and we add more analytics into the game. And we did the thing about the combat recorder that you guys talked about last week on the pod. So usually, I'm doing that kind of stuff. And then I'll get a couple of hours in the middle of the day where I'll do my set work. And maybe I'll jump in a couple streams. Yeah, it changes really day to day, depending on, maybe I'll have an update coming through, or, an occasional meeting will come in before lunch or something like that. But generally a reasonable amount of programming time in the middle of the day.
Okay.
So you're not only maintaining and fixing the existing infrastructure, you're also building out new infrastructure.
Yeah, so building new things, getting updates ready. I do a lot of the automated test stuff. I mean, all the devs do automated test stuff, but I built a lot of that system. So yeah, it really depends. My day changes on the fly every week. It's super exciting.
Awesome.
Sounds it.
Yeah. So I mean, you say that I heard you say the word set. Do your set work, which I think you mean your just normal work. But I know, I know that the rumor is that you're working on an expansion set. So
no, what I mean by that
is that what you're talking?
I get set work. I get set work every 2 weeks. Essentially work in sprints, like most companies that do anything involving IT. So they'll say, here's a bunch of things that you got to do for the next 2 weeks, and I'll kind of work out when I'm going to tackle things here and there. The way that we sort of work is that if a bug comes through, then a bug could shift the work that we've been, given. So not always are we doing the work that we, decided to do at the start of the sprint. Maybe something will happen in between. So yeah, a lot of the bugs that we get will flow through a lot of the developers, and we'll kind of pick and choose when we need to pick them up depending on priorities.
Okay. So if I was a better podcast host, I would have teased the fact that I hear we have in store for us 2 exclusive scoops. But we won't talk about them yet. But I just figure I should drop that at the top of the podcast, so people should make sure you stick around. I hear rumor that we might get a little scoop later on, so I probably should have teased that. But since we brought up sets, I thought I'd mention it.
I'll confirm the rumor. We do have things lined up, so make sure you keep listening.
Very excited.
I definitely didn't scroll all the way to the bottom of my notes and be like, oh, gotta get ready.
That was pretty good maneuver there, Copper. And, yeah, it's called burying the lead for everybody at home. I did want to circle back to meals there. You talked a little bit about your day-to-day there, how I guess regimented your schedule is. What are, other than like the organizational aspects, what are some other important traits you think a community manager for this particular game should bring to the table?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I've been thinking about this quite a bit lately as I prepare a lot of documentation for the incoming community specialist. I would say that there's 4 kind of main things that come to mind that I would say, are kind of must-haves. Firstly is patience. I mean, you're going to be facing, similar questions quite frequently, and you're balancing a lot of different perspectives and views. So having a patience and respect for everybody is really important. I think in authenticity as well, it's like, people can tell when you're kind of falsifying an image. I think you have to really be authentic to your personality and let that shine through, like, as you're interacting with people. I touched on it a little bit before, but respectfulness, like, you need to, acknowledge the viewpoints of others, and people will have different opinions than you, and that's fine. And there's a place for healthy discussions about that. And also, lastly, I just think a genuine passion for the Gods Unchained community. Like, you really need to get in there and care and be hands-on. Like, I certainly have been. And it's all the more rewarding when you have that approach to it. So yeah, if there's 4 things that I hope that the new community person will bring, those are them.
Wow. Yeah. Thorough. And all of that is definitely shown through every single chance I've had to interact with you. All right. So we know that whoever does take on the responsibility of community managers, has some pretty big shoes to fill. But for you there, what do you think is next for you personally, career-wise? Not to turn this into a job interview, but like, where do you see yourself in 5 years, you
In
know?
5 years, yeah. You know, I never know how to answer that question because I don't necessarily have this defined plan or end goal of where I want to be. I just feel like I'm just taking the next step that feels right, and this feels right now. But you never know what the future will hold. Um,
Super fair, going with the flow.
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much.
And Dan, your flow is a lot of bug fixing, right? You get to fix all the obnoxious bugs that we complain about.
Not all the bugs, but I do fix a fair few of them. Yeah,
I-
especially the ones that you keep pestering.
Oh
with
yeah,
admins
yeah.
doing.
I mostly that's what I do is I just pester Dan and tell him fix this bug, please. I lost a game on stream earlier today. Well, I didn't lose, but I didn't win a game that I had lethal. And
You were losing though.
no. I literally had lethal. I used an Auric Rush. I cleared his board with an Auric Rush while simultaneously doubling the strength of my dragon. It was the greatest play ever. And just as I was dragging my giant dragon to win the game, it soft locked. It said this game is neither a win nor a loss. And I was very sad. So I hear a rumor that bug might be getting fixed. Is that the deal?
Yeah, so we've known about that bug. It's in the works for the next update. This was a particularly difficult one, but it's in there, and that should be hopefully coming out not too far from now.
So like, where did that come from? I'm just curious because like, you know, it didn't exist as bugs do. They tend to not exist until they suddenly exist. Like, how did that kind of thing happen? Like, it just suddenly popped up.
I think as the game is sort of growing and we're building on new things, we're fixing and resolving a lot of issues that mask a lot of the things that may have been there. So I think this one has likely been around for a while, but because we've kind of got other things out the way and refined the game to, I think, a state which is, I don't think ever been this stable before. We're starting to kind of see things that we're slowly resolving over time. So I'm actually quite happy that this one was discovered, because it now means that we've resolved an issue that puts the game in just a much better state than it was ever in before.
For sure. What was the most annoying bug you've ever had to fix?
So this is trying to figure out, which of them I hated the most. But this one is actually super interesting. So I would say that like generally the harder bugs that we get are the ones where like the game client and the server disagree on what actions has happened. Delve especially is quite complex in the way that we communicate with this information, especially during reconnect or during auto select. I don't know if you guys know what auto select is.
No.
So if you reconnect or if you end, like if your turn times out while you have a delve open, the server actually auto selects the option for you. So we have to do a lot of like information communication where we like communicate with the server and the client about what selection should happen, to make sure that those actions continue as they're supposed to. So let's say you had a delve that was open, and the one that I can think of at the top of my head is Tracking Bolt, because that's like the card I'd use to test everything. If Tracking Bolt was open and your turn ran out, then the server has to say, well, let's choose option A or option B, and the client has to also choose option A or option B. Recently we had a bug where the client and the server were disagreeing. So we identified that, we resolved it. That actually came about because we were improving the system by which Delve actually delves, and moving to, I think, a system that is significantly more robust and is just better for long-term development. And I guess like these are the sort of the bugs that require a lot of like log reading to resolve, and it's interesting because for these kind of bugs, it takes developer time, in terms of just kind of like working out what's happened, because it's not entirely clear what's going on. But the good thing is when you catch a bug like this, you can build more automated tests around it, you can refine the system, and then you have more confidence going forward that these kind of bugs aren't going to come up again. And I think it's actually put us in a good position because we've moved over to this new delve system, once we've resolved this issue for one card, we've essentially resolved it for all the cards. So whilst it was sort of annoying to figure out what it was, it's put us in a really good position moving forward.
Yeah. The card that I would use to test, for anybody who's ever watched my stream, you'll probably have seen me timed out trying to select a Jason before. You get 9 legendary cards, and you've got to read all 9 of them if you don't know what they all do. Of course, now I'm more decisive when it comes to Jason, but a year ago, I definitely was one of the people who constantly was running out of time trying to select cards from Jason.
Every time I hear the word Jason, my heart sinks a bit. So before I joined the company, I purchased a couple cards, and then I joined the company, and then I found out that I can't buy and sell cards. So I have a gold Jason that's kind of sitting in my account that I can't do anything about.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, if you ever quit, you got a retirement fund right there.
I don't think Mills, am I correct? We can't sell them even if we quit?
I don't believe so.
What?
So yeah, I just have a gold
I'm not
Jason forever.
100%, but
Wow.
yeah.
It'd be a real shame if you accidentally left your private key somewhere where I could find it.
Yeah, or if you bought up all of the diamond rolling watchers.
Are you allowed to buy cards or like while you work
Yeah.
there? Okay.
Yeah. I believe we
Wow.
can buy, we just can't sell.
That's crazy. Wow. That hurts my soul a little bit that you have a gold Jason.
Yeah.
Oh, and you
And
can't
when
do
I
it.
got it, when I when I started playing for the first time, I got a bunch of packs, and I was like, oh, this is cool. I have no idea what this card is. And then like 6 months into development, everyone's talking about how good Jason is, and I'm like, oh no, oh no.
Oh, yeah, and it's only gotten worth so much more money now with the influx of new players and with Immutable X coming out.
I think the only thing worse would have been a demo. But
Yeah.
I'm actually quite happy that I didn't draw that.
A diamond demo or something.
Oh no. Does that even exist? I don't even know.
Oh, I've seen a couple. They are things of beauty, things of myth and legend.
Yeah, you just concede out of respect if your opponent plays a diamond demo.
Oh, 100%. It's like the equivalent of playing Exodia. You just that's it. Game over.
I don't even know what Exodia is. Is that a Pokemon thing? No, it's a Yu-Gi-Oh thing.
It's a
Nailed
Yu-Gi-Oh
it.
thing.
Oh, second guess. All right. I know what a blue eyes white dragon is. Did I get that right? White eyes blue dragon? I don't know. It's something like that.
Yeah, it's like a worse version of Echathon.
I used to play Yu-Gi-Oh on my PlayStation, like the original PlayStation. Is there any like games that I know you said you grew up on like card games like Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh. Well, you didn't say them by name because you probably legally can't, but I'll drop them for you. It's Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh. But
I
is there
used to play.
is there any
Yeah,
like
I used to play a
electronic
lot of,
games? Yeah.
Sorry, I used to play a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelist of the Roses as a kid, which is sort of like a chess version of Yu-Gi-Oh! Which is interesting because like my career is sort of revolved around those kind of two aspects. I used to work on a game, Warhammer Regicide, just as like a QA and design intern, and that was like a Warhammer chess game. And then all of a sudden, I'm now in a card company. So, like my favorite PS2 game of all time, which was a card chess game, is now kind of the two games that I've really most worked on in the industry.
That's awesome. What about you, Meals? Do you play any like video games or did you play any like card games?
I collected a lot of Pokemon cards, but mostly to collect them. I never really played with them, but I was a huge Pokemon person all my life. Played all the main series games, like thousands and thousands of hours. If you see me, plug for the TST Discord. If you see me in the Pokespawns channel there, I take this seriously. I've got a lot of mons stored in my brain that have been there for many years. Huge into it.
And lightning fast fingers, I can attest to that. Wow. I know, Dan, you mentioned before there, you're getting your team size is getting to the point where you can't even recognize everybody's name despite your best efforts. Do you have any idea, just for me, the split, I guess, between the team members working on Gods Unchained specifically and on IMX specifically? And is there a lot of overlap between those two teams?
Meals might actually be better to answer this one, but I think it's roughly
Meals,
like
please.
50.
Yeah, let's get Meals.
Yeah, so I'll base this on a comment. I saw our CEO in the Discord actually, and he mentioned passingly in a comment, oh, there's about, 30 technical people on either team. And now that was a little while ago now. I can't remember exactly when he made that comment, but we've hired a bunch since then. So I don't actually have an accurate number for you, but the team has been hiring like absolutely crazy. Like Dan mentioned before, there's new people joining all the time, and it's hard to keep track of the exact figures, to be honest. But in terms of the split between the teams, I actually think this is a good opportunity to highlight exactly what that looks like. So to begin with, it wasn't quite as clear. Like from a personal perspective, when we first announced that we were doing Immutable X, the Gods Unchained marketing team wrote the Immutable X content and the press releases before they built out their own marketing department. So, I was actually quite hands-on with that when we first launched it. But now that the company's grown a lot in size and resources, we've been able to kind of clarify the different products in a better way. So the Gods Unchained team focuses on the game. The Immutable X team, they've been built from the ground up. They've always been building with engineers specifically for that product. They've got marketing staff that are specifically for the Immutable team that aren't shared across the teams. So they did always have the platform design team. So even back before Immutable X was a thing, there was kind of an Immutable platform team that then spun out to start the Immutable X team. So yeah, now both teams are kind of fully fledged. We have everyone that we need in either team, and both teams are growing in a really healthy way. So does that kind of help to clear it up a little bit?
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, greatly.
I know that one of the questions that the community had asked us to ask you guys was how many specifically are working in like customer support? Are there plans to hire more people? I know that there has been a lot of talk about hiring. I know for one, there's like a head of tokens that is a position that sounds really awesome that I'm excited to see what transpires from that. But I know that there's many positions that are open.
Yeah, heaps of positions. There's, crypto product managers, a great new community specialist role, which I encourage listeners to apply to if they're keen. So on customer support specifically, there is an internal department that runs this. That's the QA/CS team. So they've been scaling up a whole lot, actually. There's been a lot of new internal QA staff joining the team. Each time you add a new person like that to the team, that instantly improves like your automated processes. We can get everything out the door a lot faster. The actual agents themselves, a lot of those are with an external team. They're providing 24/7 support right now. I'm not 100% sure how many people are on that team, but at any given point in the day, there's 1 to 2 specialized staff, there to respond to tickets. You sometimes see them on Discord as well. So they have been coming into the Gods Unchained server. You'll see them in the help channel, for example, talking to people, as well as our actual help desk itself. So this is actually, a really big step up, and I'm really happy to see that we've been working with this external team and that they're going to be able to scale up as we do. You might not know this, but when I joined the company, I was actually doing all of the support as well as all of my other work. I was the only person doing support. So let's just say the resources for support are in a much better place now than they were back then. And you've actually got specialized people, doing incredible things. And to be clear, like I wasn't doing that for long. I'll just say for like the past 2 years, you've actually had support stuff. But I was there in the beginning when my role was a bit more general.
Amazing.
Making a big difference for us as well, because like the more customer support that we have, the more QA that we have, the quicker we get aware of things that we otherwise would have to wait a while to know of. So it's sped things up a lot for the whole, like all the teams.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I know that you said that there is like an Immutable X team and a Gods Unchained team. How often? And you said you even like have a stand up where you discuss between the two teams. Is there a lot of communication between the two teams, or like how often does that happen?
I can see I've given a misconception here, and I can clear that up.
Okay.
So the stand-up that I go to is with the Gods Unchained integration team. So that team is a team within the Gods Unchained team, but they're doing the work to make sure that, you know, our assets are like usable with Immutable X, if that makes sense.
Gotcha.
So in terms of when I talk to the actual Immutable X team, like I do talk to them fairly regularly, at least on the marketing front, you know, when we're writing content and comms about how progress is going and things like that, which, you know, obviously you want to know about. You know, I try to say across what the releases are and what that looks like. But it's not really something where most people on the Gods Unchained team wouldn't really need to necessarily talk to people that are working on Immutable X. So most game devs probably wouldn't touch Immutable X at all. Senior members of the Gods Unchained team, like Clay, who's the game director, or Derek, the producer, would probably be in touch with them most frequently, as well as the integration team that I mentioned earlier. But there, of course, like, you know, we are still all under the Immutable umbrella. So there are weekly company-wide meetings where teams can share their progress with each other and we can see what everyone is working on. And we also have Slack, which we use to communicate internally. So if anyone wanted to go and see what the Immutable team was doing, you could probably just jump over to that channel and get up to speed. So yeah, I hope that helps to clarify it a bit.
Yeah,
if
for
there's
sure.
still some confusion, like I'm sure we can clarify that in some dev updates and things.
No, yeah, I think
there's
yeah.
there's like 3 distinct groups. There's the Gods Unchained, there's IMX, and then that integration team is kind of like a liaison between the two.
Yeah, because if you think about what Immutable X is, like there's going to be a whole heap of partners using the platform, right? So each one of those partners is going to need to do their own work to be able to integrate with the platform and be able to use it to its full potential. So yeah, there are Gods Unchained people who are fulfilling that function for the team, if that makes sense.
Interesting.
For sure, 100%.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. it's a bit maybe tricky to explain, so
it's good to know. Yeah, it's tricky to explain, and so it's tricky for the user base to maybe understand. So I think it's very helpful to hear it cleared up like that, just to give everybody an idea of how all the teams and stuff work together.
I feel like I'm probably better at putting this in writing than I am in words. So might write it up sometime.
Fair enough. I think you did a good job. Let's see. We've actually got a community question here, and it's maybe a little bit sentimental. So if you guys need to get some tissues out to cry, be prepared.
I already have the box next to me.
Okay, perfect. Because the professor, who by the way is a community legend, and may I say, when Borb for the professor.
Professor has one.
Oh yeah, he does. When second Borb for the professor. That's what I meant. I forgot because I was distracted by the fact that I'd be remiss to say, if I didn't say, that my co-host CautionFun and the producer of this podcast, Soul One, both just received a Borb this very night. So big congrats to CautionFun and Soul One. Hugely deserved. Hugely deserved. Glad that they both.
Thanks so much for bringing that up, man.
Yeah.
Best day of my life.
Caution. Didn't you won weekend ranked as well? Didn't you?
He did.
Oh yeah, TS Tourney finals, weekend ranked,
Oh, man,
Borb.
the finals was so good.
It's all downhill from here.
But yes. So the professor asks, you've mentioned before that you were both desk mates / office neighbors. Please share your favorite office memory of each other as desk mates.
Yeah, okay, I'll kick this off. So, probably one of the things that I enjoy most about working next to Dan is that I can always see when he's watching the community streamers, right? There's this one specific memory that I have where, I think it was Caution, you discovered the combat recorder that was under your nose the whole time, and we were having a good laugh about your reaction to that.
I couldn't believe it. I could have sworn he snuck it in like right before I started streaming. I had no idea.
the whole time you were like, no, that doesn't exist. You're like pulling my leg. It just your reaction was the single greatest thing I've ever seen on stream, hands down.
Oh man, I remember like it was yesterday. Even after seeing it though, I'm still skeptical.
Yeah. That was a good meme. But also there's there's a running kind of joke that Dan and I have where Dan judges my drinking habits. Not like that. So there used to be a kombucha machine. There was a kombucha machine in the old office that, kombucha on tap. And
Wow.
Dan's desk was literally right next to the kombucha machine.
Oh,
So I would
so
walk
bad.
across, I would fill up on kombucha, and it's like, yeah, free kombucha, this is great. And Dan would be like, well, that's your 6th today. And it's like,
Dick,
you're
that's
going for
nothing.
number 7? So like he
Like
would
your
make
sponsor.
yeah, he would really make a point of it, like every time I went to get a kombucha. So I ended up stopping drinking the kombucha after that. But then when we
Oh,
went to the
no.
new office and we were desk mates, they have Diet Cokes in the fridge that you could just go and grab. So, I'll end up with, a pile of cans on my desk of like Diet Coke that I'm drinking throughout the day. And Dan's like, wow, Meals.
There's like this post office box, which is like right next to her desk, and I think it was like 2 weeks ago. I was like, Mills, you haven't had any Coke today. What's happening? And she like moves the post office box, and there's like 5 cans.
Oh, you made her
I
so
like
self-conscious she's hiding her cans.
Yeah,
so
so
funny.
yeah,
Oh,
that's a
God.
thing.
I probably would have mentioned that one. I've got another one. During like large company meetings, like we have essentially an all hand meeting once a week or once every 2 weeks. And while we're both listening, we'll like send each other meme ideas. When the community found out about bear and alligator, I think this was like
Oh,
6
yeah.
months ago. Yeah. I was like, oh man, I got to do some memes about this. And so Meals and I were like shooting memes to each other. Like I did the bear who was like working out, and then I sent her the meme of the alligator, but I had Steve Owen in the background. I don't know if everyone knows who Steve Owen is. He was
Yeah,
like
of
a crocodile
course.
hunter.
Famous.
And I got a big veto, but at the same time, Mills and I are kind of like sitting there like trying not to laugh because everyone around us is in a meeting.
Yeah, it's kind of like as these company meetings are going on as well, like, Dan's trying to crack me up by sending me memes, and there's like Rubik's Cubes kind of going on,
I was gonna ask about the Rubik's cubes if that would fit into the top memories. I know you guys were competitive with your Rubik's cubes.
Mills bought a cube in the office a couple months back, and she's like learning how to use it. And I did the thing where you change just the center color.
Oh yeah.
And I left it on her desk, and that was probably the funniest thing that's ever happened. It was like for like half an hour during that meeting, she's like trying to solve it and do it. It's just so funny to watch.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm really
That's
bad at
the
it.
good.
And I can feel Dan's eyes because he knows the techniques, right? So he's every misstep that I'm making, I'm like, oh yeah, I learned it this way, and Dan's like, no, there's like a way to do that in 3 steps. You're making it way too complex for yourself. So yeah, he'll always solve my Rubik's cube. I feel like when I'm out of office, he's probably solving it.
Oh yeah.
And bear and
gonna have to-
alligator, by the way, for anybody who's listening and doesn't know what a bear and an alligator is, there was some cards we found hiding in the card bot called Bear and Alligator, and there was card art and everything for them, but those cards don't exist in the game, so there was quite the mystery of what are the bear and the alligator? Where did they come from?
How did I not know about this?
You don't know
I
about
can't
this?
wait
I think
for
it was-
Badger
No, this is the
versus
first I'm
Eagle
hearing.
versus Bear versus Alligator.
Yeah, we were talking about it on my stream. I think we found it in the card bot during my stream, and I don't know if Rid found some of them or if just some people were randomly typing stuff like exclamation point card and then typing just a couple letters to see what we could find. And yeah, those were 2 of the things that we started just randomly typing like any animal, like card exclamation point zebra. It's like, is there a zebra? I don't know, maybe there's a zebra. It could be. We didn't know about the bear and the alligator. They're just vanilla, like I think it's like a 3-6 and a 6-3 or something like that. It's somewhere in that range.
Yeah, I think they're just supposed to be like stronger versions of Badger and Eagle.
Yeah.
Or
So-
Badger and
Yeah,
what's the animal bond? Is it Badger and Eagle?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like the bear is a 3-mana 3/4 with confused.
Yeah.
Carbot's not finding alligator, but yeah, how about that? Totally there this whole time. No idea.
Yeah, wait, is it not called alligator? I swear it was. What was? I don't know. We
It
found.
could be crocodile. I'm not sure.
Yeah. There you go. It's probably Croc. Yep, there he is. He's
Oh,
a
totally.
3-mana 4/3 with confused.
How
And that
about
art is pretty nice. I mean, you guys can't see it on the podcast, but let me describe it to you. It's a crocodile.
Big teeth.
He looks angry and a little bit confused.
Glowing green eyes. Good touch there.
I like it. I think they look pretty cool. I definitely could see some badger versus eagle versus bear versus crocodile happening in the future, for sure.
I'm definitely Team Croc.
Yeah, everybody wants to be on Team
You can't be
Badger.
an Aussie. You can't be an Aussie and not be Team Croc.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Seems fair. We'll get Crumpy to captain that team.
Oh man, those are some excellent memories. Let's talk a little bit about Gods Unchained and what kind of decks you guys like to play. What are you guys playing? You guys playing control? You playing aggro?
Yeah, yeah, 1 mana meta only, please.
So good.
No, I like to play mid-range and control decks most of the time. I get a lot of fun out of doing that. I've been playing around with this Aetherlight deck. I'm really sad that, when I leave the team and I don't have my dev account anymore, I'm going to lose so many good cards that I need for that deck. I'm like, my Seraphs, I'm going to say goodbye to my Rebirth Planetars, my Pyramid Wardens, of course, even my Lysander and my Lysander Spear. It's going to pull my whole deck apart, so I'm going to enjoy it for the next next week while I can.
Nice.
Oh man, saying goodbye to Pyramid Wardens would suck.
Oof.
For me, this is gonna sound terrible, but I like to play the top decks at least once or twice a week just to kind of understand where the meta is going.
Oh yeah.
So I apologize to all those who I stomp on in the lower ranks. I also like to keep myself in not at Mythic, but sort of kind of a couple things down. So occasionally I'll just tank a match. Not on we don't play weekends, just saying that, but occasionally I'll tank a match just so that I stay in that mid range, because I think it's good to know the players who are kind of coming up to Mythic and what they're playing as well. So I'll kind of try those decks in a range of different the different ranks. But generally I love playing Light Heal. I've been playing Light Heal since day one. I play a lot of Enraged War. I stole Crumpy's deck recently after, was it I think Copper, did you do a stream with him?
I
Someone
did,
stream with
yeah.
Crumpy
Yeah, I
recently.
did a YouTube video, Meta Monday with Crumpy.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah. So I stole that deck and I've been slowly improving on it. I'm going to say improving.
Wow,
with,
those are
goats
strong
because,
words.
Yeah, I've still yet to try it against Crumpy, but
Good luck.
I'm loving Enrage. But yeah, I will say that things will change when new things are out.
Yeah, speaking of new things being
what
out.
an excellent segue. My goodness. Just curious. Have either of you guys thought about or conceived of a game mode or a feature that hasn't necessarily been implemented or put on the roadmap just yet?
I think I told some people about this in a stream fairly recently. I won't go into it too much, but I found that I had this dream, this really detailed dream about this new game mode. And when you're dreaming, you think that your ideas are so real. It's the best idea I've ever
Yeah.
had. So I woke up and I'm like, I have to write this down. This is going to change everything. It didn't, but I pitched it to Seeker anyway. I was like, here's this dream I had.
Wow.
Probably not going to happen, but here's all the details. So I actually have a written record of what it was.
Oh my god, I'm so excited to hear what this is.
It's so hard to describe as well because dreams are so abstract.
Yeah.
But it was kind of like this board that had tiles on it that you traveled down to get to an end destination. And as you traveled on each tile, you had a random chance of being drawn into a game with someone else. And then you could only okay, dreams are dumb. That's the disclaimer. You can only
I like that.
you can only choose 3 cards, and I think the gods had super low health, so it was kind of
Oh my god,
I guess
I love this.
super dependent on who went first. Or look, let's just say I didn't flesh out all the details. It wasn't a very good pitch.
I wish I could have been a
Maybe there's a
fly on the
thing
wall of
first.
that pitch.
More of a bronze pitch than a copper pitch.
But,
Exactly. So maybe there's a nugget of a good idea in there somewhere that GU can implement. Probably not.
Oh, I love it. It sounds so good.
I actually pitched something a couple months ago, which
Ooh.
I don't think I'm going to bring up because just in case.
I said to
but-
caution ahead of time. They're gonna say, "I had this weird idea, but maybe one day they'll implement it, so we can't tell you about it."
No, but like
Tease.
the thing I could tease is like the thing that it would do would involve a lot more mana.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
Infinite
I'm
mana
not gonna,
wheel.
Not exactly, but not far off.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's just a pitch. Just saying that it's
Very
gone
cryptic.
nowhere.
Very
Yeah.
cryptic, indeed. Okay.
My mind
okay.
is racing.
I know now. I can't even continue because all I want to know is, what is this idea he's got? It sounds crazy. I mean,
It's pretty dope.
between the two of you, I mean, Meals was literally like, my idea is crazy. I had a dream about it, and then Dan was like, I've got a good idea. But I think Dan's idea is crazier.
And I like that. I think Meal's idea has like a real nice, structure to it there. Like if it could be progressive, like lethal puzzles or something along those lines, I would definitely play that.
I have dreamed about like progressive lethal puzzles for the longest time.
You too?
Oh my god, I cannot wait for that to happen because like Hearthstone has it, and like honestly, I played Hearthstone only so I could like Gods Unchained sold cards before the game existed, and I bought Gods Unchained cards, but I never played Hearthstone or anything similar really. I played Star Wars when I was a kid. So as soon as I bought Gods Unchained cards, I was like, I need to learn how to play Gods Unchained before Gods Unchained comes out, or at least a game, somewhat similar. And so I played Hearthstone, and really the only thing about Hearthstone that I enjoyed was the lethal puzzles. I loved them so much. I haven't played Hearthstone forever, but yeah.
When I was building I was one of the main devs building the tutorial system. The whole time I was like, oh, we could do so much here. And one of the things I really want to do, and I don't know if this will ever happen, but it could be, on the cards, in the future at some point. But I'd love to have like a challenge where like we give like the AI only Echophons and always 9 mana, and you just you take in any deck and you just kind of have to work out how to beat this deck of only Echophons. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I think
Sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, it seems like it could be a very, very. I mean, yeah, there's just like limitless possibilities. All right, so we got another. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I know that DanTheDev, you said you're working on the new set there. I have to assume there's still progress being made on sealed mode. We got a little taste of that in the public test realm there. But I guess it has been a while since like a new game mode or a something like the Sanctum, like a new factor coming into play has been introduced. I don't want to get you into trouble, so I'm not going to ask you what you think is next.
I will.
Do you think good cop, bad cop? Do you think do you think we can expect some sort of like injection of new in the short foreseeable future?
Yeah, so like I guess the thing that I can say is that whilst it might seem like progress is, not as fast paced as it was maybe a couple months ago, a lot of things are happening in the background. A lot of things are being worked on. I know that we mentioned this in the dev update, but expansions are being worked on. And we've been focusing on getting GU to a state where I think all the building blocks are in place. And whilst it sort of may seem from the outside that not much is happening, a lot has been happening within GU. I actually don't remember a time that I think we've been this busy, and I don't think I've ever been this excited for the stuff that's happening. And I guess once we get to the point where we start rolling out new content, I think that new content is going to be less time between those things releasing. We're really getting to the point where I think Gods Unchained is no longer just like a game that maybe we're releasing a couple updates every few months. I think the community's sort of been seeing that we've been releasing smaller things almost weekly now. We've really been trying to push more smaller, more stable, more frequent releases to get things out the door quicker. But at the same time, there's sort of like a backlog of content that we can slowly release out to the public.
So that being said,
would you say
when new set? Small updates are great, but I've got some community members who really want a date on that new set.
I know that you want a date.
It's
I
just
hear
me,
that
I
you
know.
want a date. There's dates come with a lot
I
of
know.
expectation, so we tend to avoid dates. Unfortunately, that's just kind of how it is. But when we are ready and comfortable to start talking about these things, you'll hear all about it. We're going to be super vocal. We'll be shouting it from the rooftops, and it'll be a really exciting and fun process once we start getting into that expansion launch period. Just not yet. I'm really sorry. Just a little longer.
Fair
I
enough.
think the thing to take away here is know that we are listening and that we are definitely aware of the community's perception of like how we're releasing things. But a lot is happening in the background, and there's a lot to be excited about.
Awesome. I do like to be excited about future things, but yeah, I just can't. I'm dying for that new set, you know? It's like, I remember like Trial of the Gods coming out like yesterday, and man, like we had so many fun community events, like Caution and I. It was actually probably one of the first times Caution and I, maybe the first time we ever talked. We did an event where we both broke down together on the same stream all the cards in the new set before it released. It was just like preview of the cards, and that might be actually when Caution and I first talked. I'm not sure.
Oh man, you're right. Yeah, that little round table.
Yeah.
I loved that.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I honestly think that was the first time we talked voice to voice. I think we had talked plenty before that via text, but I don't know that we ever talked voice to voice.
I love the speculation streams before trials.
So good.
Like it was so much fun to see, like, oh my god, this card is going to be broken, and then like that card is just like Jagstaff. I think it's one of the ones that everyone was worried about.
Yeah.
And now I don't think anyone except Shelby wants Jagstaff.
Oh, Jagstaff is so good. It's still really good, but
despite the multiple nerfs, that might makes right. Yeah, no.
Oh,
I
might makes
remember,
right. Yeah, that was crazy.
My head just spinning. I'm excited to get to go through that entire process again,
know.
especially with that Magna Pebbles. What does it do?
Oh, I know. He looks like he's got a little dagger. He's so angry.
Oh, it's so cute.
Oh, so cute. Yeah, I think I'm most like it's just so much community events that transpire around new sets and stuff. So very excited to do more community. Not just talk to Caution. Of course, I will be talking to Caution though. But we get a couple people like last time maybe, and we get to all talk about speculate on the new set. So much fun. Can't wait.
Me neither.
All right.
No pressure, guys.
Yeah, no pressure. I'm just excited. All right. This is it. This is the moment you've all been waiting for. This is the moment when I beg and plead for the exclusive scoops. What do you got for us? I heard rumor that there was 2 exclusive scoops, and I hit me with one. I'm too excited.
Yeah, okay. All right. First scoop is my scoop, so I will share it. So I'm able to say that there is going to be some more voiceover art in the game.
Ooh.
Of some cards that are getting voiceover work done. And I won't explicitly say which cards are having that happen, but I am going to be voicing Deuteria.
What? No. Oh my god.
So that naturally means that I also have to voice Tetria, Bacteria, Octavia. So I guess I'm excited to share that there's going to be more voiceover art for some cards, and one of those cards will have my voice.
That makes me so happy.
Yes.
Immortalized.
So I'm super excited about this. I haven't really been able to talk about it yet, but this is the first time, not even in a dev update. This is exclusive. Not sure when
the price of Deuteria just tripled.
That's actually a good point. We got to scoop them all up.
I will say, not sure when this is going to be implemented. Could still fall through. on my
Just
end.
crashed.
Yeah.
On my end.
No, don't fall
But
through.
I will say it's like 95%
Yeah,
positive that this will happen.
that's awesome. That is so cool.
I'm stoked.
Yeah, that's an awesome, fun. That makes me very happy to hear.
Okay, and now should we do the other thing, Dan?
Uh
We should
The
do
other,
the other thing.
the other exclusive?
oh.
Okay. How do you guys like structures?
Structures. I've never played a structure deck, but I've always meant to.
What about a 6-mana structure?
6-mana structure. What's that one called? Isn't there the one that gets X plus 1 plus X or whatever? Is that a 6-mana?
Fortified Acropolis.
Yeah, that one. Is that 6-mana?
So we've got this card. It's a new card.
Maybe it's 5
It's
mana.
called Archima Menmos. It's a 6-mana, 3/7. It's a structure. It's backline, and the effect is after a friendly non-zombie creature dies,
What?
summon a 1/1 zombie. Raw and ability summon 3 1/1 zombies.
I just got chills. What?
What?
Wait, what is this? The name of this card again?
Arch of Amenmos.
Oh my god.
That witch aches on steroids. Also zombies? Is that a new tribe?
Oh my god.
Maybe?
Who knows?
Wow.
That's a scoop.
That's a scoop. I'm speechless.
Holy hell.
I mean,
So after
Two
a
huge
friendly
scoops.
non-zombie creature dies, summon a 1/1 zombie. Raw and ability, summon 3 1/1 zombies.
oh my god.
And it's a structure.
God.
Oh my god. When Ken has. That sounds so awesome. I can't wait to like theory craft with these new cards and stuff. Oh my god, zombies being a new tribe. That could be so exciting. Non-zombies die, you get zombies back. Ugh. That is
It's
a
gonna be
scoop.
really cool.
I'm sure that you guys have gotten
Crazy
to
that witch aches. Oh my
I'm
gosh.
sure you guys have gotten to test out like some of the new set gameplay and stuff, obviously. So I'm sure you guys know all the new tribes and all the cool interactions that we're gonna get to see in the
I think the coolest
hopefully near future.
the coolest thing to mention is that like it's changed the way I play a lot.
Wow.
So I'm very excited for these kind of things.
Yeah, that sounds really cool. For sure. Oh my god.
So that was a good exclusive, right?
Yeah. Those were 2 great exclusives. I'm actually speechless. Like those were some great scoops. We couldn't even get Chris Clay to leak anything, but thanks for you guys coming on here and we'll have
So you'll have us again?
yeah, we'll have you guys back on more often because man, you guys bring the goods. But actually, wait, there's more. There's a secret rapid fire question round. Some fun questions that we're gonna ask you guys rapid fire style. So we just want a single word or a short sentence to answer, and just to keep it flowing real quick, we'll do Meals will answer first, and then Dan can answer right after. How's that sound?
Let's do it.
All right. Here it goes.
Strap in.
Strap in. It's time for the rapid fire round. Question number 1. Favorite god?
Nature! Aona.
War.
Least favorite
Always war.
god?
Burial. Even though I
Deception.
play light all the time.
Deception, how do you even play it?
Oh, good answer. A card you really want to make work, but isn't strong enough in the current meta.
Oh, real man.
Demogorgon.
Oh, God. Control or aggro?
Control.
I'm gonna say aggro because control is the worst.
Favorite video games that aren't Gods Unchained?
I talked about how much I love the Pokemon franchise.
Pokemon, Castlevania, Kingdom Hearts, list goes on.
Ooh, love me some Kingdom Hearts. Favorite Pokemon?
Mew.
Snorlax. Gets to sleep all day.
ETH price prediction at the end of the year.
I'm not going to make that speculation.
Who wrote these questions?
42.
Good answer. Is Craig Wright the real Satoshi?
No.
Yes? Question mark?
Correct and wrong.
Which Gods Unchained tribe would you most like to be part of?
Amazons.
Oh,
Say
that's
zombies.
so difficult. I'm going to say zombies. I'm gonna say zombies. That's such a difficult question. Hold on.
It says rapid fire. There's no hold on.
Don't think, man.
Wait, hold on. Nokvi's a Viking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, then that.
All right. And last one. If you opened a rare pack, would you rather get a meteorite legendary or a diamond common?
Diamond common. I'm all about the shinies.
I want gold.
That's Dan, you're bad at
I don't
rapid
know.
fire.
No, all gold.
Man, that's not the rules.
Dan
Break
has
the rules.
he's a rule breaker.
What a bug. That's what we do.
We need a real answer from you, Dan. So sorry.
All right, yeah, diamond commons.
All right.
Done.
We've completed the rapid fire round. Thank you guys for playing. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I had a blast. Meals, it was a pleasure to get to talk to you. On behalf of Caution and myself, of course, we want to wish you all the future success in the world. Please come back to our podcast whenever you feel like. Drop in and say hi. And
I love that. Thank you so much.
that would be amazing. And Dan, of course, always welcome. Much love to DanTheDev, my favorite dev named Dan.
Yes.
Maybe my favorite dev in general. I'll give you that. Favorite dev in general, DanTheDev.
I'm
Yeah. So thank you guys so much for joining us. Any last words? Would you like to say any final closing sentiment?
Yeah, I do. Okay. So I came to this podcast with my TST mug, and I'm known for plugging this in stream, so I'm going to plug it again. Big fan of Team Stream Team. CautionFun is a part of their team, and their mug is excellent quality. It's really nice ceramic. You can kind of maybe hear it in the background. I'm not sure. It's a good mug. You got to get the mug.
I hear.
TST
I'm
merch.
so glad we turned off the video. I'm blushing so hard right now.
I can hear.
wearing the beanie.
I can hear the tapping on the beanie too. DanTheDev.
It's like
yeah.
it's good ceramic. Like, you know, holds up. My everyday mug.
Beautiful. I can verify that they are indeed holding mugs and hats because we were on video before we started recording, and it's true. Everybody is decked out in TST gear. It's a sight to behold.
Except me, ironically.
My beanie's like the comfiest thing in the world. Like, don't.
These
I actually
testimonials
do
are
not take it off.
amazing. Oh my gosh. You hear that, everyone?
TeamStreamTeam.com, ladies and gentlemen, where you can purchase your very own beanie and or mug. Get both. They look nice together.
Yeah, and get a sticker on top of it.
I would like to end off with light OP.
Oh my god, my man.
Love to hear it. Thank you guys both so much for doing this. We hope to have you back again sometime soon. But until then, everybody have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Let's spin up that little link.
It's been a pleasure, guys. Thanks again.
See you, Aaron.
Bye.
Things are so bright for you. I hope that it's healing true. You bring so much fortitude. I'm so excited for you. Things are so bright for you. I hope that it's healing true. You bring so much fortitude. I'm so excited for you.